Good morning, dear students. This is Mr. Abdurrahman with another history session for designated as grade 7. This is an initial session for you. It's like an introduction. We will learn about the meaning of history, what is history, and what you're going to learn in this subject, in this ability. The point from studying history for you this year is this is the goals or the objectives of your study is to understand why we study history, why it's so important as a subject or as a science. Also, you will find an answer of the idea of how do you know about the things happened in the past? How do you know how do we know what we know about the past? Uh, what is the process or how it happens? How we are able to tell about our ancestors, about events, even despite the fact that uh, we never been born by them. Also, we will be introduced to the concept of historical inquiry process. This is the historian's scientific way of collecting evidence about the history and making sure that all of these pieces, all of this information is accurate and scientific as possible. After that, we learn how to think as historian. We'll understand the meanings or the concepts of historical thinking. Let's jump to our topic, what is history? Part of our study to the history enables you to answer questions like who are we, what is the things or the clans or the people came before us, and how we developed into this way, how we changed it to this way, about our food habits, about how do we look, how do we wear, that kind of things, and how we change it into this specifically. All of these kind of questions or the answers of these questions, you will find it after you study the history and you became a historian. I found that history is not about, it's mainly about studying the past, but part of studying the history is to use this information that we collect from the past to connect it to our present time and to help us solve problems in any way. So, history is about studying the past, but it's still also focusing about how to reflect this information on our present time and improve our human societies. The told stories about our ancestors is considered one of the primitive ways of telling the history. So, our ancestors remember what happened in the past and tell us these stories to enable us understand what happened in the past. So, your role as a historian is to create these stories in a scientific way after you examine and translate or interpret these historical events. Historical events could be painting, could be photos, it could be even these told stories. So you examine all of that to make sure that it is in the accurate or accurate context of history. This is an example of some kind of historical evidence. Sorry, it shows. Let's talk about the details about this photo. This photo is called Lord John and Bernard Stewart. This picture or this painting, sorry, was painted by the English artist Thomas Burrow. This is a copy, by the way, from the original photo. The original photo was created by Anthony Van Dyck around the year 1638. And this copy that belongs to the English artist Thomas Burrow was created after that, around 1760 or and 1770. This copy of Thomas Burrow is available at one of the art museums in Europe. When we examine this photo, which is your work as a historian, you will collect information, and by the look of it, you will notice that it seems that they are brothers and they are teenagers back then when this picture or this painting was created. Also, you can notice by the look of the picture that how they used to wear or what was the clothing trend back then, and you can tell from the nature of the colors or the clothing that they're wearing that they were some sort of nobility part. They belong to one of English noble families. As a conclusion, after you examined this painting, uh, it seems that after all these collections of the information that you collected, that it helped you study the past or this period of time by looking or examining this picture. As a first quick assignment for you in this initial session, this is a simple question for you. How do you imagine the future historian will learn about our lives and society of today? So imagine yourself like a historian that lives like after 200 years, and you're gonna examine yourself right now in the present time. Imagine yourself thinking about how you used to wear in this time and what you were eating, or how was the society trends. A question about imagining yourself as a future historian, what you can think, or how are you gonna study your present time copy to learn about it and help you evolve in the real future or in the imaginary future. So that's it for this session. If you have any questions, as usual, feel free to communicate with me over the classroom or even in the class. I hope that you find this session informative for you. See you again in other sessions. Take care for now, guys.